former two-time UFC heavyweight champ Cain Velasquez has been charged with attempted murder and a bunch of gun assault charges. He chased a pickup truck, hit the pickup truck with his vehicle, and then shot multiple times into the pickup truck. In the pickup truck was a guy accused of sexually abusing a 4-year-old family member of Cain Velasquez. So this is they're going to be people who say, good for him.
I don't know how even when you think of mitigation, because this is not someone who just robbed, not someone who was looking to carjack, but does the judge pay attention to this?
I would think so, right?
Except here's the problem. Because there were other people in the truck. The guy's stepfather was driving the truck who got shot in the arm and the torso. So you say, I understand your anger, but you can't just start shooting into a pickup truck and also causing a chase on the streets.
But does that lower his sentence? Does he not get a lower sentence because of...
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think perhaps a judge says, normally, if all I know is you chased a guy and shot into his truck multiple times, I'm jacking up your sentence way high. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give you like a normal, regular sentence for this kind of thing.
And that makes sense.
And guess who his attorney is?
Yep.
Mark Garagos.
Of course it
Oh,
is.
no.
Oh, yes. All right, another, again, high-profile attorney. And there's news on the Ukraine or on Ukraine. Jennifer, what's the latest?
Here is the latest news on the invasion of Ukraine. Russia has seized more Ukrainian territory despite strong resistance, but their 40-mile convoy headed to the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv appears to have stalled. Aaron Katersky in Ukraine says the Ukrainian president has urged his people to keep up the fight.
In a morning message to the unbreakable people of invincible Ukraine, President Zelensky said the nation broke Russia's plans in a week, and he spoke directly to any Russian soldiers listening. Go home, he said. Tell your commanders that you want to live, not to die.
U.S. officials have warned that Russia's column could surround Kyiv by next week. Russian troops have taken control of the southern city of Kherson and have threatened to cut Ukraine's access to the Black Sea. News is brought to you by American Vision Windows. Police in Long Beach have been searching for the driver of a Dodge Ram pickup truck that slammed into an apartment building, killing a man and his 3-year-old daughter. Police say the driver of that car ran off after the crash Tuesday night. He's described only as a 20 to 25-year-old man. A recent spike of 20 bank robberies in Orange and L.A. counties has resulted in the arrest and a colorful new bank robber name.
The Green Gator Bandit wore green camouflage. FBI LA's Laura Eimiller says investigators believe that to be Christopher Daniels of Torrance. He's been charged with 12 robberies.
There's at least 8 other bank robberies that were committed by, again, what has been described as a white male.
That guy's been dubbed the Black and White Sneaker Bandit because, well, he wears black and white sneakers.
The one difference is he seems to be passing notes as opposed to making verbal demands.
Eimiller says bank robber names have historically been used to coordinate multiple investigations and to encourage the public to ID the bandits. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
The former site of the Viper Room in West Hollywood is becoming a new high-rise development. The 12-story building will be named 8850 Sunset after its address. The site will include a hotel, music venue, studio space, housing, retail, and restaurants. Construction is expected to start in 2023. McDonald's has been hit with a $900 million lawsuit by a startup company that makes a device that was used to monitor and troubleshoot the restaurant's ice cream machines. ABC's Derek Dennis says Kitsch filed the lawsuit this week.
Kitsch says McDonald's stopped using the devices, claiming they violate the machine's warranties, pose a safety threat, while also intercepting McDonald's confidential information.
Kitsch says McDonald's fabricated bogus safety claims to mislead customers. The company says McDonald's is trying to use a new machine with similar features as Kitsch, effectively running Kitsch's business. We'll take a look at your drive on the 57 after we check sports with Wayne.
The baseball lockout shows no sign of resolution. Hanging in the balance are, amongst other things, loss of player pay and league TV revenue, potential lawsuits, and the delay of free agency for many players, including Shohei Ohtani of the Angels. The richest man in Russia says he will sell the soccer team he has owned since 2003. Roman Abramovich is seeking a buyer for Chelsea Football Club with a reported asking price of at least $2.5 billion. Speculation is the move is designed to try to avoid sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
If you are looking to sell your house, or you've inherited a house and really don't know what to do with it, let me suggest going to the folks at directbuyers.com, and here's why. Because they will give you a fair price without any hassle. What is hassle? Well, listing it with a real estate broker at 6%, and then being told to clean and paint and repair and get ready for prospective buyers to walk through your house, which you can't be there. And it is, well, it's just really difficult. Who lives in a spotless home for weeks at a time? No one does. You're a slob. We're all slobs. So directbuyers.com will give you that fair price. They will give you an honest, no obligation offer, even a $15,000 cash advance before closing to help with your move. And the other thing they won't do is they won't lowball you. That is so important to me, and I've talked to Matt and Janet, the owners, and for hours about their business model. I love it. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com, call 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a dense fog advisory in effect until 8 this morning. Mostly cloudy later in the day. Highs will be in the upper 50s to the mid-70s. We've got a slight chance of showers starting tonight, lasting through Saturday, then sunny and warmer by next week. Let's look at that ride on the 57.
Well, again, slow and soft. By the way, that fog that Jen mentioned, pretty much South Bay all down the Costa Mesa, so be careful. Now, the 57 is getting real slow from the top of the hill. If you're leaving Diamond Bar, going down towards Anaheim, 60 to the 91, that's the drive we're talking about. But going downhill at the Overlander, there's a rig in the right lane, and I'm sorry, the rig is to the shoulder, but CHP is blocking the right lane. That's the reason for all that. It's slow from the top of the hill. Once you get through that, you'll be okay. The other touch drive we're going back to right now, we started a little while ago, but Montebello, East LA, West 60, for Charles Grande around Garfield, bottom of the hill, and half the freeway was shut down with the backup. Well, I can see the backup now. We're coming up on the 60. It's almost to the 605. The West 10 is in better shape. It's not empty anymore, but a better drive from the 605, 710. Finally, 405, San Fernando Valley. Excuse me, if you got caught in that yesterday morning, it's fine now. It's just kind of morning drive slow and up and over the hill. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
Cook with veggies that steal the show at Whole Foods Market. Get organic asparagus for $3.49 a pound through March 8th, plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. Promotion varies by location type. See terms and exclusions on our app.
At Cedar Sinai, we're right here for Los Angeles. Here if you're routinely checking up or unexpectedly dropping in. Here is a resource for today's clinical challenges and a teacher of tomorrow's physicians. Here is a neighbor to those in need and an organizer of health programs in your community. Here, we believe that people deserve to be treated like, well, people. Here, with over 250 locations in Southern California, a helping hand is well within reach. Cedar Sinai, we're right here.
Your electric bill keeps going up. The cost of solar has gone way down. It's time to go solar with local veteran-owned Semper Solaris now and get all the benefits. Here's veteran, founder, and owner Kelly Shawhan.
And in no time, when you give your word, it's just as your word. Work hard and keep your word. That's what we do every single day. I heard about Semper Solaris and found out that they were veterans. I knew they were going to do the job right.
Add Tesla Powerwall and be ready for blackouts. We get the job done with esprit de corps and honor. Semper Solaris offers new heating and air conditioning systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. We hire vets and give back to the community with our Semper Cares initiative. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Get the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. Call 877-211-5591 or visit sempersolaris.com. 26% federal tax credit based on eligibility. On approved credit. Consult your tax advisor. Cannot be combined with any other offers. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Expires 3/31/2022. CSLB number 978-152.
Or any kind of real estate.
Hey, have you ever thought about joining the team at your local Stater Brothers?
You know, I have, but what's it like working there?
Oh, it's great. You get an employee discount, flexible schedules, and advancement opportunities.
Wow, you know, that sounds great. Is it easy to apply?
Yeah, just ask a team member for more details and apply online on our careers page at StaterBROS.com.
We hope to hear from you soon. Your blue polo is waiting for you at Stater Brothers Markets.
This is Jacob Emrani. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station,
Go to KFIAM640.com/rules. KFI
AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640. Handle here on a Thursday morning, March 3rd. Let's continue Handle on the news. Jennifer, Wayne, and me.
Well, now rocker Marilyn Manson has sued his former fiancée, Evan Rachel Wood, over her allegations that he sexually and physically abused her during their relationship. Now, there's also another woman named as a defendant in the suit, and it said that they used false pretenses, including a phony letter from the FBI to convince the other woman that's named to come forward with these sexual abuse allegations. And then he accuses Evan Rachel Wood of coaching this woman on what to say to Manson. And the lawsuit claims that the defamation and infliction of emotional distress has derailed his successful music, TV, and film career.
Yeah, and that's my question. I mean, did it, and does it? I can see the emotional distress part. I mean, that's legitimate. You know, you're accused of rape. That's okay. That's distressing to say the least. But the career part of it, would you think that
I
his
don't
career has
know
been
how
derailed?
popular Marilyn Manson is right now in the entertainment world, so I can't say, but
His label dropped him. He can point to specific loss
and
of
say
business
that was it. And not that exactly what Jen said. You know, he's become a grade B rocker, a grade C rocker. So, yeah, an interesting story, and we're not going to spend any more time on it.
Oh, Kim Kardashian is a single woman after a judge finalized her divorce from Ye, who was not at the hearing, but sent his lawyer, who had no objection. So there's no real controversy here. They both agreed it's time to officially dissolve the marriage. It's dissolved. There she is, single again.
Yeah, one of the things is and the reason this took so long and may continue on is because there's such a complicated financial relationship here with all the businesses and investments, et cetera, they did together. You can, in California, bifurcate a case, which means you get the divorce, and you're free to get married, to do whatever you want, and the financial part of it continues on. And it could continue on for years when you're unraveling and can have discussions and can have dissension and arguments. No. That I get 60%. No, you don't. You get 40%, and then go through tons. I mean, phone books worth of financial records. So, and I still wonder what she does.
oh, she's a huge businesswoman.
Well, now, how did she get there? And is she her own? Let me ask you this: is she her own businesswoman? That's what I really want.
What do you mean?
No, she's a lawyer.
Does
She passed the bar.
What is
You
it,
know
Kim
that.
Kardashian? Maybe I don't know much about Kim Kardashian. She's a lawyer?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, she just passed the bar.
Where'd she go to law school?
I don't know that.
I think your problem seems to be not so much you don't accept that now today she is a true businesswoman and passed the bar and runs these companies. You're like, how did she get there?
Yeah, okay.
But how did you get here?
How did I get here?
How did you get here? I mean, there was a time when you weren't nothing.
There's an argument that I'm still there, but still, okay, I'll buy that. It's just fair enough. I'm going back to the days where I always wondered, what does she do?
I mean,
It's like Angeline.
She gained popularity when she was, BFFs with Paris Hilton,
Right,
but
and
also
they
her
started, she was
dad.
one of the early reality shows where they
and
followed
then-
her around. Okay, I'll buy that.
I mean, the Kardashian family is.
Yeah, oh, I know.
That's a mogul in and of itself.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, don't be drunk on a plane. There was a drunk pilot pulled off a JetBlue flight at the airport in Buffalo. Police say he blew more than 4 times the legal limit for alcohol. He's 52 years old. His name is James Clifton. And I guess a TSA agent saw that the pilot was acting drunk before the flight, And so TSA removed him from the cockpit, gave him a breathalyzer, and sure enough, he reportedly registered a 0.17, which is twice the legal limit for driving in the U.S., but 4 times the legal limit for pilots because their blood restrictions are stricter.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could have any alcohol in your system when you're flying a commercial plane. Or flying.
You can blow up to a .03,
I didn't know
apparently
that.
That's okay.
Aren't you stunned by that one?
I am surprised.
That is surprising, and so I'm assuming his flight career has been somewhat curtailed.
If I can just point out, they say he was acting drunk. He wasn't acting.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. And that's a criminal offense. I mean, literally, had he been able to take off, he would have put 100 and something lives in jeopardy, or 200 lives in jeopardy. Or now, with the number of seats they put into airplanes, 480 lives in jeopardy in a small plane.
You want to do one more, or do you want to take the break?
No, let's, because this next story we're probably going to spend a couple of minutes on. Meantime, let's check in with Jennifer, the latest Ukraine news. What's happening?
Here's the latest news on the invasion of Ukraine. A new effort to end Russia's attack on Ukraine is unfolding today. Negotiators from both sides are meeting again as more explosions go off. The International Criminal Court prosecutor has launched an investigation that could target senior officials believed to be responsible for war crimes or crimes against humanity or genocide during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And China's pushing back on a report. It asked Russia to delay invading Ukraine until after the Beijing Winter Olympics. They say that is fake news. The Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the report in the New York Times was an attempt to divert attention and shift blame. We've got an update on the 60 in just a moment.
If you own a business and you manage to keep 5 or more people on the payroll during this pandemic, there is a new government program that will actually pay you tens of thousands of dollars per employee. Now, that's some money. And it's not a loan. This is a grant. This is, here you go, here's some money. But the trick is getting your hands on it. It's a very complicated federal bureaucracy, and it's not easy to cut through that red tape. InnovationRefunds.com does. They are experts at helping businesses like yours, like mine, get our share of government funds, incentives. They do all the legwork too, and do not charge a dime until you receive the money, and then they share a percentage of the money they get for you. It's a contingency arrangement. So, in my business, on another program, they got my business a 6-figure refund. I mean, that is some money. On this program, the average client gets $250,000. Go to innovationrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions, and they do the rest. innovationrefunds.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. Mostly cloudy today. Highs will be in the upper 50s to the mid-70s with a slight chance of showers starting tonight. This report is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Let's look at your drive on the 60.
You betcha. A little update now going towards East LA. Westbound 60 Potrero Grande. That's kind of the bottom of the hill just before Garfield. That's where all the activity is. A slight improvement. We just had a look at it. It's carpooling lovely instead of 2 left, but they're trying to clear. It's a bunch of cars, tow trucks, CHP, everybody's there. The backup, and it's severe now, the West 60 South 605. And no fake news here because I'm looking at the West End. We're passing over Santa Anita right now. It's definitely busy. Morning drop slow, I'll call it, all the way over to the 710. The express lanes are wide open, so a pretty good alternative for you. And finally, South 57 going down towards Anaheim. There's a problem in Yorba Linda in the right lane, kind of slow going down. Jeff KFI in the sky.
Save on seafood at Whole Foods Market. Get $2 off per pound of sustainable wild-caught fresh Atlantic cod fillets through March 8th while supplies last. Plus, Prime members save an extra 10%. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
This report is sponsored by WaterHeatersOnly.com. Need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 54 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and 0% deferred interest financing. Visit WaterHeatersOnly.com. That's WaterHeatersOnly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
The Ridiculous Crime Podcast proves that true crime isn't always about mayhem and murder. Sometimes it's just silly. Take a deep dive into the absurd side of criminality with tales of stupid capers and idiotic cons that are 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
16-year-old Max Wade decides to steal the yellow and black Lamborghini Gallardo Spider. The owner? You know him as Guy Fieri.
Listen to Ridiculous Crime on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Joining us today, Scott Painter, CEO and co-founder of Autonomy. It's a new company. It's right here in LA that offers car subscriptions. The whole idea behind a subscription was being able to simplify the transaction and make it easier for the customer.
Buying a car also seems so cumbersome. This seems to be a super easy way to get you into this Tesla Model 3.
You're doing the entire thing on your phone. You simply go to autonomy.com, install the app. You simply give us your driver's license and that digital form of payment, and you get either the car delivered to you or you go and pick it up. That's it.
Wow. I'm excited about it.
There's a lot of COVID info out there, but not all of it's true. So it's important to remember the facts. Do COVID-19 vaccines give people the virus? Nope. It's actually the opposite. Vaccines teach our cells how to fight COVID-19. And just like other vaccines, COVID-19 boosters help keep our immunity strong. Share the facts, not the virus. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Here's today's smart money tip from Owning. Call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com to find out more about this amazing offer.
Have you ever kept your 30-year mortgage for more than 10 years? If you're like most people, the answer is no. Then why are you overpaying for a loan you probably won't keep? Introducing the Smart Money Loan by Owning. With an interest rate of 2.375% fixed for the first 10 years, 2.819 APR. Lock in your rate for how long you'll probably keep the loan. Lower your rate and payment and save thousands in interest.
Call 833-2-OWNING to lock in a 2.375% rate, 2.819 APR today. Or visit owning.com.
NMLS 2611, subject to credit approval. Savings may vary. Call 833-303-2169 for licensing and qualifying terms and conditions. Equal housing lender, not licensed in all states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
Anyone can get long COVID, even Caitlin, age 20.
I got COVID in November 2020. In January, I started having long-term problems. I was a varsity soccer player at high school, and now I get winded just from walking. I can't remember things. It's just a miracle.
Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent long COVID. Learn more at voicesofonlongcovid.org.
He says, my wife and I have never been to a horse race track.
And he said, I'm thinking, me, you, your wife, and my wife, the four of us, will go to Santa Anita together.
What was my reaction to that? I just hung up on it.
The Tim Conway Jr. Show.
And I looked at the phone and I go, wow, that guy doesn't know me.
Weekdays to 6 on KFI.
Welcome back, Bill Handel here, and the morning crew. Thursday morning, March the 3rd. Sorry about that. Let's finish up Handel on the news with Jennifer, Wayne, and me.
Family dinner. 18-year-old kid says, hey, can I leave the table for a minute? My phone is really low on battery. I want to go plug it in to charge. He doesn't come back. Then they hear a loud noise. They go, look, this kid's electrocuted to death. That is a bizarre.
That is a bizarre. That's, if you wonder, off a phone, I mean, it's being charged with 110 volt, the 110 volt of electricity, which is not going to kill you. Even 220 you could survive. So I don't quite understand. The lithium battery, maybe there was an explosive electrical charge out of that. And last September in Brazil, there was a similar one, and that's the only time I've heard of those. I mean, they are, I mean, that has to be, you talk about lightning in a bottle that's in a bottle. But can you imagine going upstairs and there's your kid?
And it burns all over.
Oh, geez.
So sad. All right, more than 80 animals were taken out of this home in Diamond Bar this week. A neighbor reported deplorable conditions to authorities. So the Inland Valley Humane Society went to this home, and that's where they found then a resident who was there being treated. They did a welfare check, but also on the animals. The resident in her 70s was taken to the hospital. She'd been living there for 5 years with no water or electricity.
And a bunch of dead cats and just
dogs and cats that were alive, and multiple dead cats.
Very squirrely woman who clearly is going to end up in a mental institution for a very long time. I don't see any criminality here because she's so nuts. And your heart breaks for her. More so for the cats, but still.
Well, Netflix says they are temporarily pausing any future projects or acquisitions in Russia. They want to see what is going on with the invasion of Ukraine situation. They had been working on 4 Russian language series. And I can't tell from this, are they going to finish those? And they're saying after this we're not going to do any more for a while, or are they going to actually halt these 4?
You ever seen a Russian language television show that's distributed by Netflix? There are a couple of detective shows.
Oh, Zato?
Yeah, and just excellent. I mean, really good. And so that's off the table, and we'll see what happens. The Western world's going to nail Russia. The big issue is China. What is China going to do? Because if China ignores the sanctions completely, Russia's going to survive. I mean, that country will still be a mess in Russia. The stock market still hasn't opened up. The ruble is worth under a penny, and no one has getting hold of any money. But still, if China does join the sanctions, then it's completely over for Russia in terms of its economy. Talking about Russia, another story.
Electronic Arts has announced that it's in the process of removing both Russian national teams and the country's professional clubs from some of its biggest sports games. I mean, we're talking NHL 22, FIFA 22, FIFA Online, and FIFA Mobile, and they say it's not clear when the teams will be removed from the games, but that it has initiated the process.
We talked about the number of organizations, people, businesses that are tied up with this internet, gaming, etc. Remember Pong?
Yeah.
I was very excited about Pong. And for those of you that don't know what Pong is, it's worth looking at. Truly. It's so good, you'll throw your PS5 into the garbage.
Well, some Barnes & Noble's bookstores are adding a banned book section because of the state of books being